What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with the big one.
Gershwin.
That one is like really big.
And this is for the greater...
You know which one I'm talking about.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And that is what Nathan Stevenson did.
Is that a wholesome name?
That's a wholesome name, and that's 2 for 2 this week. Where your name is like the highlighted one. I think that's the... Nathan Stevenson is the first one that we did.
Was it?
I think so. You ask a really good question. Again, maybe. You say, what are the different ways to permanently kill demons and chaos stuff? So how do you kill a demon? Or chaos stuff? Just repeated the question. So the best way to do it is to banish it back into the warp.
You're not killing it, though. You're just postponing its life.
Oh, so permanently, I guess, right?
Permanent, Gersh.
So yeah, there's no permanent way to kill chaos demons. You could say his name, but that won't kill him.
I thought that was the only way to permanently kill him.
No, I thought you saying the name just banishes him back into the warp for like X amount of years. Because that's what happened to Angron.
That's kind of like a really negative, like, effect. Like, oh, we're these legendary Primarchs. Everybody knows our names. They're afraid of us. But it's like, oh, there's Mortarion. Oh, he's gone. Like.
Oh, yeah, but then that's not. Now I remember. He was banished into the astronaut. No, he was banished back into the warp because he was just killed by.
Because I think like
one of the space wolves.
Was it?
Yeah. So back to the question.
How to kill chaos completely?
A chaos god would have to destroy the essence of that individual, or somebody, a psyker, would have to have the power to just destroy the essence of that being, like the Emperor did to Horus. Horus completely obliterated Horus's soul so that chaos could never bring him back. Never bring him back as like a chaos demon or whatever. So, and then of course there's a lot like Slanesh. She really enjoys, killing her servants because then she just feeds off of them and they're obliterated from existence. So you have to be an extremely powerful psyker, right?
Like extremely.
Yeah.
Like Shaun White extreme.
Shaun White.
He's extreme. That's all you need to know.
Okay. Next question.
This one is by Bunny Hop. Which one of you guys lost their virginity first? Their Warhammer virginity, that is. I think
it was you.
No, it was you.
No, because like we didn't actually.
Okay, it was together, guys. Oh man. What were you gonna say?
Because you played a game at a Warhammer store, didn't you?
I guess, yeah. But I mean, we played together.
Yeah, but we never played by the rules.
Yeah, that's true.
We played with little squares.
So when
like
was
checkers.
our... Yeah, we did. We used to cut up like cardboard and make like checkers on it and put some squares black. Those were like the don't go there zone. And yeah.
And faces were important. So we basically were our own little like game creators.
Mm-hmm.
So if your guy was facing a certain way at the end of the turn and you can shoot somebody in the jetpack, it would
do more damage and
damage.
like push you back.
Yeah.
So
into a hole that we talked about, the black holes.
And that for the longest time there was like our meme before it was a meme, like shoot him in the jetpack.
Shoot him in the jetpack, yeah.
But no, I think when was the first time we played a game together, like legit with the rules and everything?
No idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you either.
I want to say it's your basement sometime.
Yeah, probably.
Next question comes from...
Before we get to that question, Corey Schultz, the man bun is out of style.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, it depends on where you live. Yeah, I mean, it's so convenient though. So convenient. Way better than a fade. You have to upkeep a fade every other week. With this, I cut my own hair. Matthew Bennett. What faction is more likely to eat ass? It's a really good question.
It is, because I mean, if you think about it, Tyranids eat biomass. Take out the M, they eat biomass. So I don't know why we didn't say it if we said it before.
But then this question kind of gets coupled with the question that came on later on by JJ.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I was going to ask a question about the Dark Mechanicus, but after reading other questions, I'm more interested in this ass-eating faction question, or the likeliness to eat ass asked in the comment section. I thought that Slaanesh was a shoo-in for this, but I suppose that Chaos may enjoy eating the most ass, but they may not be the best at it. I would agree. But I think Tyranids would be the most likely. What do y'all think?
Yeah,
So you say yes.
Tyranids, yeah.
I think no, because eating ass is an art form, and Tyranids would just, like...
Yeah, like they eat it without
crazy.
even thinking, without even knowing they're eating it.
Exactly, and then they would bite, and like sometimes you don't want that because it's a very sensitive area. Not that I know, like I don't say this out of experience. Well, kinda, because everybody poops, right?
Do they, Gersh?
Unless you have a catheter.
Poop doesn't come out of there. Catheters go in your urethra.
What's on the other side?
It just
Either
comes
way.
out. Yeah. Oh, there's
What's the name of that?
adult diapers, right?
Is that really what it's called?
Well,
There's no tube that can be put in your
butt.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there could be.
Okay. Well, anyways, so Tyranids would not be good at that. We agreed, though.
Oh yeah, we did come to a conclusion that probably the Emperor's Children
would be the best at eating ass.
right? Because they're all about perfectionism.
And eating ass is not just about like going down and just tongue and nastiness. There's preparation. There's like you have to beautify everything.
Mm-hmm.
Bleaching, probably drinking pineapple juice.
Meal prepping, saying like, oh, I'm gonna like cleanse myself. Prunes and kale.
Taking the right type of like muscle relaxer, all that kind of stuff goes into play, and I think the Emperor's Children would be the most adequate for that.
Why pick Emperor's Children? Like, why have children in their names?
We did it though, and right, that's what we said.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the most sense because they're professionalists, and it is an art. And they're also aligned to Slaanesh. So.
Yeah, perfect. So Emperor's Children.
It goes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. If you guys don't agree, comment down below why you don't agree. But you're wrong. Next question.
This one is by Nick Van Achthoven. What would happen if a Kroot ate air? Nothing.
It's breathing.
Yeah, Kroot actually. There's a tribe of Kroot that's just oxygen.
That's funny. Next question comes from Last Name First. If a human was strong enough, could he beat enough orc boys into submission to form a mob? Sorry, I don't know why I put an emphasis on beat.
Oh man.
All right. So, and then could he use this mob to beat enough?
Why is beat so funny?
Then he could use his mob to beat enough other mobs to form a WAAAGH. Then could he take the WAAAGH and lead it against the Emperor's enemies?
Oh man. No.
No. You can't beat off an orc. I mean, you can't just
Beat off an orc? Oh man, what is this video?
The closest thing to orcs following a human came in the form of Commissar Yarrick. Mm-hmm. They feared that Commissar Yarrick was like an Umi that was like extremely powerful with his bale line, and he was able to, in the power claw and whatnot. Oh, so they feared for him, and even God School Meg or Thraka respected him. Yeah. So that's the closest it's ever come to beating off an orc.
Right. Okay. Torque 789. Why does melee even exist in 40k? Wouldn't it make much more sense to just use ranged weapons that would prevent melee in the first place? I thought about this for a while, and it's like, I mean, you could say that nowadays, why have, swords, staffs, nunchucks, brass knuckles, clubs. Why have fists when you could like just throw rocks, right?
Yeah. And well, the answer to that is like World War II, trench warfare. There were situations where the layout of certain battlefields, you know, they force you to get into hand-to-hand combat. There's I think if you watch Band of Brothers, there's like a couple battles in there where like they were just so close to each other that they had no option but to like, you know, stab each other.
Yeah.
And at the same time, whenever you're gonna take control of an area, close combat is inevitable, right? There's people are gonna hide in rooms.
Right.
People are gonna survive in bunkers when you throw the grenades and you open them up, and yeah.
And then the other thing too is not everybody can obtain firearms. If you have an uprising, the poor against the elite, obviously the elite will have better weapons and whatnot. But if you have enough people, or enough, you know, enough of a huge revolt, you don't really need weaponry because just the sheer amount of numbers is just going to overwhelm any type of firepower.
Right.
So yeah.
Good question though. Next one.
It's a good change of pace, I'll tell you that.
I have one from Ben Stringer. Could the Necron god kill the god of man?
The what?
The Catan, I guess. So could the Catans kill the Emperor?
So the Emperor is really, really overpowered when it comes to utilizing psychic abilities, and psychic abilities stem from the warp, and the warp is exactly the one weakness to the Catan. So it's going to be a very one-sided fight.
Yeah, that's true. Last question.
This one's by Sureblade. With all the Tau's technology, why haven't they devised some way to create an artificial psyker? Weaknesses to psykers is a pretty obvious problem to the Tau. Necrons figured it out with Catan powers, so why can't the Tau create, for example, a drone that flies in to give stealth to units, or something similar to a psychic ability? That's interesting. I think that's the one thing that kind of makes the Tau different from all the other races.
Yeah.
They don't have any psyker powers or psyker-like abilities.
But honestly, I don't think that like psychic abilities, like so like break it down, like smite. Smite is basically just a range attack, and the Tau already have really powerful ranged weapons. Prognostication, Tau can. Well, I mean, I guess that would just be one thing, but like you can't use technology to tell the future. Well, I guess you could argue that like what is that stuff called? Like when you run algorithms and then you
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The most possible solution or whatever.
The most possible outcome.
Outcome. There you go.
Wasn't that kind of like artificial intelligence?
Yeah, and they already have that, right?
Yeah. Well, a dumbed down version for their drones, but yeah.
So in a way, they already do have all that stuff. Flamers. Yeah, there's nothing that the warp does other than like the obvious, like becoming a demon, manifesting like more just immaterial creatures and stuff like that.
Right. Pretty much the Tau are advancing so quickly that that's their way of combating psychic powers with their technology.
Yeah.
Like for example, the one thing that sets them apart is you could have a psychic power that grants rerolls, while the Tau have drones that do market lights. So there's always a yin to the yang, so to speak.
And those were the questions for today. Thank you for sending those questions our way.
Interesting for the greater WAAAGH today, I'll tell you that. So keep those questions coming and we'll keep on answering.
This is Gershwin.
Sound Alchemist, and we're out of here.